So anyway, we're making pizza for Jesus. Jesus pizza? I don't know. I know this is a time when a lot of people are cooking from home. Maybe you haven't cooked from home a lot. You might hear our dog messing around. But I love pizza, as you can tell by my Pizza Planet t-shirt. If you don't know what that means, Google it, and if you know, you know. But we're doing homemade pizza. And what I mean by that is mainly the dough is homemade. If you can see, that's beautiful. You got all these little holes from the yeast expanding. I put this on 23 hours ago, basically. I usually go for 24. I had to cut it short. But you can find the recipe I basically use is just kind of a riff on Binging with Babish is one of my favorite cooking shows on YouTube. And he has a pizza dough recipe on his website. He has a website also called Basics with Babish. It just teaches you a lot of basic good cooking skills. I think it's a good website to visit right now during this time. But you can see this. It's essentially 500 grams of bread flour, not all-purpose flour, but if all you have is AP, that's fine. Use whatever kind of flour you want.
Or refined.
Or fine, right? That's where we're at. But I also really just prefer bread flour if you have it. It's got a lot more sciencey stuff. It makes the crust chewier and crispier, and trust me, it's good. Like 500 grams of bread flour, 16-ish grams of salt, and then about a gram, I do 2 grams of yeast. I do have this in a jar. It lasts a lot longer than the stuff in the little packages.
Plus your wife bakes.
Plus my wife bakes. Camera Lady Ashton, thank you for your service. But yeah, bread flour, salt, yeast, and then I use a scale, so 350 grams of like room temp water, and you just get a wooden spoon and you mix it up until everything is cohesive, kind of a loose dough. You don't need to knead it at all. Leave it in the bowl. If you can get a bigger bowl than this, it might not fill the bowl when it rises, but it's a lot easier to mix. And I know you can't smell this right now, but I mean, it's very yeasty in a good way. For those of you of age, think like really good like beer and like, I don't know, like really good sourdough bread almost. Maybe not that yeasty, but it's got some flavor and it's good. But who cares? We're gonna make some pizza. Yeah, our oven over here. Get your oven as hot as it'll go. Say it with me. Get it as hot as it will go. Unless it's like 1,000,000 degrees, don't do that. That'd be weird. But ours goes up to 500 apparently. It's been sitting at that for an hour. A whole hour. As you can see, we have a pizza stone down here. If you don't have a pizza stone, you can just use a regular baking sheet. I don't recommend it, but if that's what you have, that's what you have, and that's fine. If you can preheat it a little bit, because the bottom of the pizza getting nice and toasty and kind of not quite burnt, but nice and browned, maybe a little burnt, and very firm and not droopy. So it makes the pizza really nice. You can do cast iron if you want. You don't have to really preheat the cast iron for an hour. You can preheat your oven a little bit, get it up to temperature, and then you can just kind of preheat the cast iron on your stove top because it's a pan. But anyway, I'm going to shut up now and actually make pizza. What you need good dough. If all you have is frozen dough, that's fine. If you're not patient like I am, you can make dough and not let it sit for 24 hours. But it's great if you do. First thing we do is make sure we keep our sharp knives in a safe place. And then we want to work out a spot for flour. Not a good idea. There we go. We want to get some flour down. We don't need this right now. This is just what I do. I like to be really kind of precise. You can just split it up into 4 equal parts from this recipe of 500 grams of bread flour, 16 grams of salt, 1 or 2 grams of yeast, and then 350 grams of water, plus thyme. Thyme is an ingredient in this. You can just like split it up equally into 4 parts by eye, but I don't like to do that. My producer's telling me things.
It's in the way. There we go.
Anyway, most of it came out. A few things stick. Whatever. You good. This is what it looks like flipped upside down onto a lightly dusted flour surface. Like this. Kind of looks like, what's his name? Freddy Krueger's face a little bit.
Ew.
It's a good thing, though. You want it to look like this. This means the yeast has done its work. It's good things. Actually, I will use this for a moment just to tear out the bowl. T-A-R-E, tear, and then weigh my dough. Got about 870 grams of dough. And we are going to split that up into 4 equal-ish parts. Doesn't have to be super precise, but I like to get close. And that's not what I need. I'm very well prepared.
It's in there.
There we go. This is what we need. So, make sure whatever you're using to weigh, if you decide to weigh it, is also dusted with flour so it doesn't stick too much. I put a little bit on top right now. Get some on your hands. You don't want stuff sticking too much. If you watch any old Italian grandmas make pizza or guys in New York, you'll see these tables with like 3 pounds of flour on it. I don't have that luxury, and most of us probably don't. Which is kind of sad. I wish I could do that, but my wife won't let me. But whatever you have, make use of what you have. Trust me, whatever you have is fine. I just go in half, kind of eyeball it. Go in half again. You can use a knife if you want. I would suggest using a duller knife because you don't want to ruin the edge on a really sharp knife. This one's obviously bigger. We'll weigh it first. 310, 212, 175, 177. So this one obviously, is pretty big. And at this point, you can really start tearing stuff. T-E-A-R if you want. 256.
You got a little garlic skin in that one.
Yeah, whatever. Garlic's good for pizza. It also keeps vampires away. 212, we'll keep that there for a moment. 231. Put that together, whatever. Has anybody done 870 divided by 4 yet? 200. Alec Gilmore, where are you? 200, 200.
He is not.
70. 210, 225, 220, about 215-ish.
Sure.
Whatever, yeah, 217, whatever. 217 and a half, I don't know. Whatever. We'll get close to that number again. We're not scientists. We're hungry people who want to hurry up and eat pizza on Facebook Live. 176, that one's the light one. Do this, 211. That one's too heavy. And a little heavy. You obviously need to make your own sound effects for Facebook Live videos like I do. Production quality just goes way up. Trust me, get all the views. Get all the views. Get some more flour out here so stuff isn't sticking. Do the LeBron James thing. I think he uses baby powder though. But 190, 220. That one's still big. Let's tear it off. 238, still a little big. That's okay. 212, put that on 234. That's the light one. They said you never use math at a high school. They lied. I'm using math right now. Go to school. Stay in school. I graduated college and now I make pizza on Facebook Live because coronavirus. So that's the really light one. So we take some from here. Close. No cigar. Close. We're going to say close enough on those. Do a little more flour. The other thing you want to do, since this makes for what most of you would think you would call them small pizzas, maybe even personal pan. They're a little bit bigger than that. They're kind of the size of your typical Neapolitan style pizza. So like, somewhere in this range, which at most major pizza places is called personal pan. So it makes 4 of those. You can just combine 2 of them to make a bigger pizza. That's what I do sometimes. That's whatever. Again, it's cooking. Have fun with it. And you want to grab a very nice towel that your wife is going to get mad at you for using.
Don't use that one.
And I already am.
Use this one.
It's tough times. I got to use that to dry stuff. Anyway, whatever surface you're going to end up...
Show them that one.
I am. Whatever surface you end up putting the dough on. Also, this is how you sprinkle flour. You don't just...
Like Salt Bae.
Yeah, you Salt Bae the flour. It actually spreads it out. Trust me, you don't waste as much flour. Put your dough that you're not using on a floured surface. If you're weird and you hate the planet, put plastic over it. If you're like me and you like using your wife's good towels, put a towel over it to cover it up so it doesn't get hard. This one says that I decorate with cat hair.
My mom bought it for me.
Which is mostly true, and now dog hair. So we cover it up, and we have the dough that we're working with here. Problem is, we need sauce. How are you gonna make sauce fast, Kenneth? Well, I don't know. We'll buy a pre-made pizza sauce. I usually don't do this, but extreme times call for extreme measures or something like that, right? I will say you might want to get a pan preheating on a stovetop so you can heat up the sauce a bit, or you can microwave it since this is glass, not plastic or metal or whatever. Take the lid off, that's metal, that'd be dangerous. You can spice it up if you want. Chop up some fresh onion, garlic, whatever. I don't feel like doing that right now. I might for a different pie. Pizza in Italian means pie, by the way. Try anything you want in it, honestly, except pineapple. Jesus will know. Jesus is against pineapple on pizza. It's in the Bible somewhere. I know it. But I'm going to put a little bit of oregano, dried oregano, and some crushed red pepper into our sauce over here as it's heating up. The reason you want to heat up your sauce is when you make the dough here in a second, you make the dough flat, you put the sauce on, then cheese and whatever toppings you want, really. Except pineapple. If your sauce is cold, it's going to take your pizza longer to cook. And that's not fun. So preheat your sauce. Also, it's a really good opportunity to add more stuff to it. Definitely a bit of olive oil never hurts anybody. If you're fortunate enough to find some fresh Roma tomatoes or any kind of tomatoes at the store, add some fresh tomatoes to a sauce. That's really good. Tons of recipes for making sauce from canned tomatoes. Just Google it. I'm not going to bother teaching you that. But going here, the reason I like to use a pan that's wider with a flatter bottom is because it's more surface area and it heats up quicker for what we're doing right now. But yeah. Get that going. We'll do garlic on the next one. We do want to drop things out of our cabinet on live internet television. Let's see, crushed red pepper, really nice. If you think like New York style pizza and that typical flavor, it's really just crushed red pepper and oregano. That's like most of it. There's more stuff, but that's like I like a lot. It's really not that spicy. I get that some people don't like spicy things, whatever. That's fine. Where's my oregano? We have oregano somewhere, I think. There it is, found it. But yeah, a little bit of oregano. Go easy on the oregano. When herbs dry, they get really strong. And so the oregano is actually pretty powerful. So go light on it, and if you need more, add more later. It'll be fine. And our cabinet won't close. Whatever. I don't care. You form that. Keep this moving a little bit. Turn it down to low. Got a wooden spoon over here because you don't want your sauce to burn. Yeah. And again, if you just want to chop up a few fresh tomatoes and throw them in there, I think pizza sauce with a little bit of freshness is really nice. Making pizza sauce with just fresh tomatoes takes forever because that pizza sauce texture and flavor comes from really concentrated tomatoes, which you get easy in a just paste or a sauce. But yeah, it would take like half a day to make pizza sauce from fresh tomatoes. I know that because I did it in college one time and it took forever. But anyway, you don't have to be Giuseppe and do all that stuff. Make it into a ball, push it out, make sure there's plenty of flour. And honestly, there's no wrong or right way to form pizza. As long as it's like sort of circular, you're fine. Some people say you gotta throw it. Some people say you don't roll it out with a rolling pin. I'm like, dude, just get it close to a circle and you're fine. The biggest thing is trying to keep it consistent. So right now, there's a lot of dough over here. So I'm gonna start stretching that out. You can, don't use tips of your fingers, that tears pizza dough. Do a little, this little half knuckle thing, I don't know. And let gravity do its job. Just spin it in one direction and gravity will take it down. If you feel a really big pocket of dough, maybe squeeze it out with your thumbs. Again, there's no wrong way to do it. You can go to the edge of your table, be lazy, and let half of it droop off. Let gravity work that way. It's kind of the same method. Whatever. As long as it starts getting bigger, you're fine. Whoever said circular pizza was the best pizza is wrong. Whatever shape the Lord wants it to be is the best shape. Make sure your sauce isn't burning. It's not. That's good. I will also say, it is usually a good idea to add a bit of red or white wine or even beer or something to your sauce. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But it really, really, really brightens it up and deepens some flavors. It's really nice. Yeah, add some blood of Jesus to your sauce to make it a world better. We're still going. Need some more flour. Bloop. Sound effects. I'm going to stretch it out like this if you don't want to even pick it up. That's also perfectly fine. Again, if you want to roll it, also fine. The biggest thing, there's two things that make crust. Two aspects that you have to keep in mind. One is the shape of the dough. If it's perfectly flat, stuff might slide off easily whenever it gets really hot, and like melty cheese might get into your oven, and you know that's not a great smell or fun to clean. So you want some kind of flat surface and then come up at least a little bit. And then the other thing is where you place your tomatoes. If you're working with cast iron, you can throw it in the you can throw it in the cast iron and spread it to the edges and it comes up and you should be fine anyway. But if you're not and you're working with like a pizza stone or a pizza pan, they're just cookie sheets that are circular. But if that's what you have, that's what you have, and that's fine. I'm being judgy.
Our church wants to know, or actually Casey wants to know, what if we're pro pineapple on pizza?
If you're pro pineapple, you're wrong. And somehow, I don't know how, by the grace of God, Jesus still loves you. But you're wrong. Although I did see a really funny comic the other day where someone was like, "You eat pineapple on pizza?" And the guy was like, "Yeah." And the guy was secretly really pretentious. Like, "You can't have pineapple on pizza." But then he whispered to the dude and he was like, "What you're doing is so brave. I love pineapple on pizza, but everyone would judge me for it." Thank you. But I'm not that person. I actually legitimately hate pineapple on pizza, but that's what's great about food is everyone likes different things. So So if you want to put pineapple on pizza, you can, but I will make fun of you. Just, yeah. Yeah, we're still going. We're still going. We got some dough left. Here's what I do whenever a dough, I'm gonna stretch it out some. Whenever a dough maybe flattened the edges a little too much, and that's better than having a tear in the middle. Having a tear in the middle is like the worst thing ever, because when you're cooking it, everything seeps through there and just burns on the bottom of your pizza, and that's not fun at all. What you can do is focus on your pizza, and also, I need some water. Is what you can do is take your fingers. This is what I do, and just kind of press everywhere in the middle, wherever you want the crust to be, for it to be taller. You simply press everything down in the middle. You do not touch the crust, and it leaves it taller than the rest of it, theoretically. So basically, you're just lowering everything else while making the edges taller so stuff doesn't spill over the side. If you do make a hole, grab part of your extra dough, make a little patch, slap it on, make sure it's flat, flip it over. Yeah. But anyway, you can always save a pizza, maybe, most of the time. But anyway, our sauce is pretty good right now. Turn that off. Put that over here. Oh, there it is. This might be more important than not having pineapples on your pizza. One, sharpen your knife. We're not animals. Also, I'm bad at opening things.
Yep.
Cut away from yourself.
I have some cheese.
Yes, you can have some cheese. But basically, pre-shredded cheese, if it's all you can find, it's all you can find. Pre-shredded cheese has usually some form of like potato starch or some other starch powdered onto it. And it's not good when it melts. It's plasticky almost, so get the block stuff, right? And then grate it yourself. Even if it's, not great cheese, it's still better than pre-grated cheese. Because all those additives and stuff aren't coating it, and it'll melt really nice. But anyway, we'll start with that for now. I use a lot of mozzarella. You can use whatever you want, honestly. Whatever you're feeling. If you don't like mozzarella, don't do mozzarella. People do mozz because it melts really nice. Maybe don't have a spoon with holes in it, like I do. But hey, we all make mistakes. You can just have some of that cheese. Anyway, here's the other thing that makes crust. The toppings. Start with your sauce. If I stay really, really close to the middle, and maybe not put this hot pan on cheese, if I stay really close to the middle, anything not covered will become crust. That's how pizza crust works. When there's not stuff on it, it becomes crust. So if you want a really, 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 really skinny crust, if you like that, then take your sauce all the way to the edge. If you like a lot more crust, and maybe it'll puff up a bit, don't spread your sauce and your toppings as far. I like to leave about 1 inch to half an inch. I like a bigger crust. I also don't like a lot of sauce. If you like a lot of sauce, put it on there, Everybody likes different things. Yeah, we're getting close here. That's good, that's good, that's good. That'll work. That'll work. Then...
Scout, say hi.
Stare at your dog. Don't touch your dog while you're cooking. That's nasty. I did wash my hands before this video. I meant to start it by washing my hands, but I forgot, but I did. I promise. Honor code. Scout's honor. I don't like to grate my cheese directly onto the pizza. Mainly because it's messy and really inaccurate, so I like to grate it to the side and then sprinkle it on. But yeah. Let's give me some more, a little more. The people who say too much cheese is not a bad thing are usually right, and I'm one of those people. However, do be careful. If you use too much cheese, no matter how tall your crust is, it will melt off the side of your pie and go all over your oven, and then your loved ones will yell at you. 1, because you ruined their pizza, and 2, because now you gotta clean the oven. We'll start with that. That's pretty good. Where is...
The baking sheet?
Yeah.
Underneath the...
This way?
I'll get it.
Oh, are you filming me? Don't film, just tell me where it is.
It's under the stove.
Oh, I always forget about this drawer.
The proving drawer that we never use to prove things.
So, if you have an actual pizza peel, like the big wooden thing with the flat wooden thing, that's awesome. I don't have one. The Amazon wish list, somebody send me one. The flattest thing you can find, preferably some kind of baking sheet, that's what you need. Because you're going to put the pizza on here, and then you're going to deliver it to the pizza stone, and yank it out, and then more cheese. You do need something to... Where is it?
Ooh, for cornmeal?
Yeah. There it is, yeah. Cornmeal is what most people use. Scout, move.
Pooh, come here.
You're in the way. This is very important. You need your pizza to be able to move, to slide around. So, cornmeal everywhere. And then you can pull your pizza onto... You could build your pizza on here as well if you want it, if you really wanted to. Oh Lord, it's sticking, which is fine. Oh Lord, I know what I need. You could use your hands, but this is a high quality TV production, so we're going under here with a big flipper spatula. That's the other thing about building your pie. If you wait too long, the sauce kind of seeps through. This is a beautiful mess. I'm gonna transfer it. We gonna get it. Who's laughing at me on Facebook Live right now?
Cakey.
There we go. Rearrange your cheese after you fail epically on live internet television. There we go. Get it on there. Bloop, bloop, bloop. You can kind of tug around at spots if you need to, because the cheese might go over right there. So I'm going to pull this out some. Maybe even fold it over a bit. There are no rules. Make it taller so cheese doesn't spill out. Here's the thing. Test. Does it move? It moves. Now that it moves, again, it moves. There's no spot sticking. If it does, lift it up, put more cornmeal under. Now my dog's toys are in the way, as well as my dog. Pizza stone. It's down there. Here we go. Stick an edge. There we go. Yank it out. So, you'll get used to it. It's so hot in there, the first edge that sticks, it don't move. Like it sticks. Get that down. Tilt your pan up. Your pan, and yank her out. You're good. You could also buy unsliced pepperoni. Slice it yourself with a nice, good sharp knife. Not as important as the pre-shredded cheese. I just like the pepperoni. It's really nice. And my wife is eating off the cheese block. Okay, but we have no video evidence, so no one will believe me. Timing. You just kind of have to watch it. Every pie is a little different. 10 to 15 minutes-ish with this method. But really, just watch it. Our oven light's broken, but it's so hot in there that there's enough light I can actually see the pie. We're gonna get some vegetarian toppings ready. Maybe I'll let y'all watch me eat hot sauce with ghost pepper in it. Where'd that cheese go? There we go. This is what you want. You could do the whole pie in this. I don't really recommend it because it's not very melty and it's really strong. Parmigiano Reggiano. Yes, it is basically just fancy Parmesan, but it's really good. Saw a really cool cooking tip the other day from Anthony. Porokowski.
Pour whiskey.
I don't know. I should probably use my cutting board. Oh, that is hard. There we go. So, a little more. You do not, oh, you're following me. Okay. Do not eat the rind of cheese. Not supposed to do that. But it does have a lot of flavor. Save it. He made this pasta sauce the other day and put in a Parmigiano Reggiano rind. And I was like, that's a really good idea. And now I'm going to try it later. This week. With my own pasta that we're going to make, but you don't get to see that. Some of the cheese is melting. That's good.
Scout move.
Scout move. Gonna grate some more cheese over here.
Oh.
Oh, I can grate it.
No, it's good. It's good. We good.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's just a personal preference. I like to put on most of my cheese. And then about a few minutes in, once the first kind of round of cheese is melted, I put on a little more cheese, which is what I'm doing right now. Very dangerous. So be careful. It is very hot in here. I have some wicked, awesome burn scars on my arms from touching the hot oven. But yeah. Let's see. Yeah. While we preheat the oven and use pizza stone, again, the bottom of the pizza is really important. You don't want it to be droopy or soggy at all. You want it to be cooked all the way through. Your phone is dying. How much percent do you have? 12? You can just say it.
Oh, I have 12%. So
Anyway.
wrap it up.
They already know that. Well, we have to wait for the pizza to cook. But yeah. Again, the dough sat for 24 hours. We covered it so it's not getting hard over here. During this time, if you're doing a lot of pizzas in a row, because they're small-ish, you could be making another pizza dough crust thing, whatever. We will use some more olive oil. If you want to brush the crust in olive oil before you throw it in, that's a lot of fun. Gets some nice browning because of the fat in here. I like to drizzle some on top when I'm done. The Parmigiano Reggiano, or the Parmesan, when it comes out, we immediately put some of this on there and melt it onto there. It's really nice. If you just have regular Parmesan, that's cool too. Works. If you are going to use like garlic slices, I know some people like that. Garlic burns really easy. So maybe don't put it in at the beginning, but put it in later, or even just kind of wait till it comes out to drop it on. Because even though it's very hard, very difficult, you should wait a few minutes after it pops out to slice it and eat it. Because then you will burn the living daylights out of your mouth. But who really does that? Who really waits? I don't know anybody that does. Try not to open your oven as much as possible. Keep the heat in there. Look through the glass. If you don't have glass, make it quick when you open it. But now we wait and I should tell jokes. I don't have any jokes. I'm a terrible youth director. What kind of youth director doesn't have jokes?
What was the best part of your week this week?
Oh, we could just talk about other stuff. Best part of my week this week?
Mm-hmm.
Heath Williams, Reverend Heath Williams.
He's watching.
He's watching, good. Brought me a delivery earlier. He's like, hey, I'm going to Walmart. I was like, can you get me some things? He's like, yeah. I was like, cool. And he brought them to me. And it was really nice. But also, I finished Where the Crawdads Sing. And I did.
Great book.
Great book.
Our entire staff is reading it right now.
Basically, everyone's reading it. Thank you, Amy Gilmore. I did not expect to like it as much as I liked it.
It's because I suggested it.
Sure. Yeah. 2 points to the house of, what house are you in? Ravenclaw.
You don't even know my house.
Any Slytherins out there? Anybody who has no idea what we're talking about because you've never read Harry Potter? Yeah. Again, I don't ever set a timer. I just watch it. You want a little bit of burnt cheese. The problem with low moisture mozzarella, there's low moisture in it. Fresh mozzarella has a lot of water in it. I get some of it out and strain it. Of course, that makes it not burn as fast. So with low moisture, it does tend to burn a little quick, which is kind of one reason why I do the 2 cheese method. I do the cheese, let it sit for a few minutes, put a little extra fresh cheese on top. Keeps the first round of cheese from just like burning outright. Because again, it's over 500 degrees in our oven right now. Hey Scout. But yeah, you want it to get brown in a few spots. You want the crust to be nice and brown. You want to be able to lift up the bottom and see a lot of brownness, maybe a few burnt spots. That's actually really fine. We'll set this over here. Scout, come here. Come here.
Go see Daddy.
We're gonna put you on TV since I'm not actively touching food ingredients right now. Say hello.
Oh, she's so upset.
And now we can have our hand washing portion of the video. I will say, bar soap is actually better because it's cheaper and it lasts longer and it lathers up a lot better. Get your hands wet, put your soap on. You can actually shut off the water now to conserve water. Just lather. Say the Lord's Prayer. Say your ABCs. Think of your favorite guitar solo. I don't know. Just set a timer.
My mom says to pray. You can change the world in 2 ways.
You can change the world in 2 ways. Pray and wash your hands. Get everything. Get the fingers, right? Fingernails. Get the backs of your hands as well. Go all the way up your forearms a little bit, right? Get it all. Might as well just take a whole shower right now, right? Pizza's still...
Don't do that on Facebook Live.
Pizza's still looking pretty good right now. Flip our water back on. We have the fancy kind that has 2 stream modes. This one or this one. Fancy.
No one...
Oh, they can't see it? Let's do it again. You ready?
Oh my god.
Our faucet can do this or this. Technology. Anyway, here's the fun thing about bacteria. It likes moisture. So, easily one of the most important steps is actually drying your hands. Not with one of those rocket ship blaster things. Most of us don't have those in our homes anyway. Dry your hands. Completely. Bacteria likes moisture. I understand that it's a virus, but we're trying to be healthy right now, right? We're getting there. If you want your cheese more burnt, put your pizza on the top rack. Also, some ovens are different. Some heat from the bottom, some heat from the top. You can turn the broiler on if you really want to heat straight from the top and like get a nice char on the top of your cheese. I like that sometimes. Some people don't. That's okay. But play around with it. Top, bottom, middle racks, whatever. Have fun with it. It's food. It's pizza. It's pizza. Have fun with pizza. It's pizza. It's Pizza Planet. And I have sauce on my shirt now, but it blends in, so that's good. Make sure your hands are 100% dry. Want to take a quick look? We're almost there. What was I gonna do? Cheese. I like to put a little extra red pepper on top when it comes out, because that's who I am. Really, any herbs you want. We might just use a little bit of herbes de Provence. That sounds French, not Italian, but who cares? I know it's got basil of some form in it, maybe some thyme, some good stuff. And there's already oregano in the sauce, so whatever. You could just do straight up dried basil, or fresh basil is fun too. Yeah. Let's see.
Why do you have hot sauce?
I already told I'm going to use some hot sauce for the people. They can watch me cry.
At the end?
Yeah. People like that stuff. Right? Right? How much percent's on your phone? 8%. Alright. We lost 4% out of 12. Here's some more math from Alec Gilmore. That's like, what, 25%? We lost a quarter of our power. Oh no. Rough times. Still looking good. Crust isn't as brown as I want. I could move it up to the top rack, but I'm lazy. You can use a pizza slicer. You can also just use a really sharp knife. For the sake of keeping this video shorter, I know it's really long and I'm long-winded, I know. Make your jokes. You can just use a knife. Nice sharp knife. Don't cut your fingers. Sharp knives are safe knives. Say it with me. Sharp knives are safe knives. A dull knife, you go to cut something and it goes blip, 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 and then that's what goes into your finger, and that's not fun. Also, like from a doctor's point of view, a really nice, clean cut is a lot easier to sew your finger back on if you happen to go all the way through, which I hope you don't.
Everyone look at Scout.
Everyone look at our dog, because I'm not entertaining and the pizza's not done yet.
She's just sweet.
Is she really?
Mm-hmm.
What a loser.
She's so cute.
While we're at it, let's do an album of the day. What do we have over here? Pizza's almost done, I promise. Ah, there we go. Since he did a Facebook Live video and I reposted it, here's some Neil Diamond. He reposted Sweet Caroline and changed some of the lyrics for our the time that we're in right now. Good stuff. Go give it a listen. Neil Diamond, Sweet Caroline, Brother Loves Traveling Salvation Show.
He needs help sharpening his knives.
There's a knife. Here's a plug. I don't know his name or the name of his business, but whenever we get back together again, there's a dude at the Bentonville Farmers Market every other week, and when he's not there, he's at the Fayetteville Farmers Market. He's got a little like white truck van thing, and he's got his knife sharpening stuff in there, and he charged me like about $10 to sharpen this, and it took like 5 minutes.
And fix a dent that I put in it.
And there was a nice dent. I wasn't going to throw you under the bus.
It's fine, I'll throw
Store
myself.
your knives properly. Get one of these. Please. Unless you have small children, maybe don't do that, but we don't, so. It's almost done. But yeah, cool dude, don't know his name. White van, farmer's market, he sharpens knives.
He said he's seen him.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. He does good work. But as soon as this pizza comes out in probably 2 minutes, we're going to instantly, the first thing is a little bit of Parmigiano Reggiano. It'll melt on there because it's still really hot. A little bit, where'd it go? Where's my olive oil?
It's right in front of your face.
It's right there. I see it now. A little bit of olive oil.
Gene, you're wrong.
What'd she say? What?
Gene says we are not pro pineapple on pizza. Rev Gene is wrong.
We are anti-pineapple.
No.
Anti-pineapple.
Me and Casey.
Casey and I, if you're going to be that way.
He said I am Gene. What? What is happening at the Williams house?
Anyway.
Marcus said in it.
Thank you, Marcus. I love you too. If your olive oil has this kind of lid and you don't have like the little spouts to put on it, which is fine, just use your thumb, cover it up to drizzle because you don't want too much. But yeah, we're just going olive oil, cheese, whatever herbs you want, crushed red pepper. And for your viewing enjoyment, on my piece only, a little bit of ghost pepper sauce. Yeah. We're gonna call it. I would leave it in there for a few more minutes because that's just who I am. I like burnt stuff for some reason. You can just use this again and reach in the back carefully. This is why I also have the top rack at the top position. If your top rack is down, you just take it out if you want. That's when you burn yourself, is on that top rack, because it's, trust me, I've
Scout.
done it the hard way. No, this is my pizza and Ashley's pizza. You don't get it. But reach in the back and just kind of blip, blip your pizza if you want to use a spatula or whatever. I don't care. Get under there, pull it on. There you go. We might make some more pizza after this. I'm going to leave the oven on. I generally would like some more browning in here, but that's okay. Let's see. We'll go thinner. We'll go thinner on the Parmesan. Just get a little Parmesan in there. Stuff is pretty strong, so that should do us right there. You can kind of hear the sizzle. Can you hear that? I don't know.
What a beaut.
Oh yes, really? I should? It's speaking to me. Okay. Okay, you're right. Okay, thank you. All right, I'm not allowed to tell you what he said. So, get our herbs on there. Sprinkle from up high. I cannot stress this enough. Sprinkle from up here. It spreads things out. If you sprinkle down here, you just get clumps of everything. If you're doing stuff with your fingers like salt or whatever, make sure your fingers are dry. One, because bacteria like moisture. And two, because When you're doing herbs or salt or whatever, it likes to stick to your fingers when your fingers are wet. We're going to transfer this very hot pizza over here with our bare hands. And wait a second, we'll get it cut. Oh, it followed me. Hello, world. We'll do a little bit of olive oil as well. Finger or thumb, whatever. Just drizzle on there. Get nice. There you go. Good stuff. If you have a brush or even just another rag, dip it. You can get some on the crust if you really want. Again, there are no rules except pineapple.
Heath Williams says this is as calming as watching a Bob Ross paint happy trees.
Thank you. So here is our bottom. Here's my bottom.
No one wants to see it.
Here's the pizza's bottom. We usually want more browning, but we took it out early. But that's still pretty good though, because the last thing you want is for the bottom of your pizza to be this color. I could have just pointed at my shirt that's white, but that's no good. We don't like that. We want some color on the bottom. It's good stuff. And even though we should wait, we won't. We'll go in here, staying away from our fingers. All right, there's half for you, half for me, right?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Well, there's Ashton's half.
Yay.
Here, just to prove it to you, ghost pepper. It's on the bottle. I'm not gonna be mean to myself. This is the ghost pepper one right here. We'll shake it because we're, decent people here at the Wilson's household. There's a good bit. That's okay, that's too much. But I did it. Here's Kenneth eating ghost pepper sauce off a homemade pizza. Enjoy your quarantine. I know a lot of us are cooking at home maybe more than we are used to. And that's okay. Cooking really brings us together. And that's why Jesus did communion, right? He's sitting down at a table with all his buddies. He's like, let's share some food. There's a lot of deeper theological implications there, like food comes out of the earth and gives us life. Like literally, we're really distanced from the food chain now because most of us aren't farmers. Some of us garden a little. But food comes out of the earth and gives us life. So we're sharing in life together when we eat food together. Especially ghost pepper sauce. Woo! God is good. But yeah, share food with people you love. Have a good time. Cook from home. Don't eat ghost pepper sauce unless you're really, 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 really bored. Also, if you do hot sauce, do not touch your eyes or go to the bathroom until you wash your hands.
Wash your hands, people.
Amen.
Bye.